Hi, this is a curriculum analysis of the School of Philadelphia. It is the eighth largest school district in the nation. It enrolls almost 16,000 students across the city of Philadelphia, home of the Liberty Bell and the First Continental Congress. Its vision is one of a great school ensuring that all students leave for college and career and are career ready. The Office of Curriculum Instruction Assessment ensures success for all students by implementing a high-quality, standards-based curriculum and identifying consistent and rigorous outcomes for all students. The OCIA works with its members of the school community, assistant superintendents, central offices, principals, teachers, families, and stakeholders, all to ensure that every student graduates college and career ready. They do this by implementing instructional best practices, effectively integrating technology tools, supporting teams of teachers at every school to work collaboratively on aligning curriculum instruction assessments. They deliver professional learning opportunities for administrators and teachers. They provide appropriate interventions, accelerated opportunities, and build the capacity of teacher leaders so they're able to effectively support the teachers in their schools. Who runs the School District of Philadelphia? It is run by a School Reform Commission, which was established in 2001 when the oversight shifted from the school district, from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, to this particular commission. It is made up of 5 members, 3 appointed by the governor and 2 by the mayor. The governor appointee serves 5 years, and the mayor's appointee serve terms that last 4 years. They can only be removed for only clear and convincing proof of wrongdoing or failure to perform. It identifies the political elements of the board, and it is a politically charged reform board. Organization. The Office of the Curriculum Instruction Assessment promotes this research-based curriculum instruction assessment to provide comprehensive and high-quality instructional services. They are aligned with the educational and organizational goals outlined in the district's actions plan. Using a document notation system's core standards, which are aligned with the PA Common Core, with the Standard Common Core, reflective in the Pennsylvania academic standards. Here is an example of the 3 in alignment. We have, looking at grade 3, we have a Pennsylvania Common Core with notational systems. We have the Common Core standard aligned to it, and then we have the PA academic standard, aligning all 3, ensuring that the student has received the information and has the outcomes to complete them. After countless hours and numerous curriculum committees poring over research-based information, the Common Core standards were adopted in 2013, taking effect in March 2014. As part of the new regulations, the Pennsylvania Core Standards offer a set of rigorous, high-quality expectations in English, language arts, and mathematics that students should master at the end of each grade level. The PA Core Standards are robust and relevant to the real world and reflect the knowledge and skills our young people need to succeed in life after high school, in both post-secondary and globally competitive workforce. The curriculum framework specifies what is to be taught for each subject in the curriculum. It includes the big idea concepts, competency, and essential questions, which are aligned to the standards and assessment anchors, and where appropriate, algebra content. Here's an example of the framework in the English in 3rd grade. It shows that the students will be able to independently use their learning to comprehend and evaluate complex text across a range of types of disciplines, be a critical consumer of text, other media to recognize, understand, and appreciate the multiple perspectives and cultures. But at the bottom, we see the big idea. The effective readers use appropriate strategies to construct meaning. Here we see a grade below in 2nd grade. There, the students will be able to independently use their learning to comprehend and evaluate complex text across a range of types of discipline, be a critical consumer, communicate effectively for varied purposes, and again, the big idea of effective readers using appropriate strategies to construct meaning. Here's above the grade, 4th grade, above 3rd grade. Students will learn to independently use their learning to comprehend and evaluate complex text across a range of types of disciplines, be a critical consumer of text and other media to recognize, understand, and appreciate multiple perspectives and cultures. Again, the big idea is the effective readers use appropriate strategies to construct meaning. we see a level above from the third grade. How well does the curriculum reflect the standards? Let's talk about the curriculum. The School District of Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia, has implemented the backward design as one of their integrative strategies of teaching their curriculum. As we see, design and learning are essential questions to the understanding. As Marzano's taxonomy pointed out, that the types of knowledge, declarative or informational, procedural or mental procedures, psychomotor procedures, all are interactive and must work together for the student to understand. In the backward design model, it's very clear that we always have the end game and the end goal in mind. The backward design has three main stages. 1, to identify desired results. 2, determine acceptable evidence. 3, plan learning, experiences, and instruction. The first one has the big ideas and the skills. What big idea they're learning to achieve. 2, we have the culminating assessment task, the skills in mind. And 3, the learning events. In the 3 stages of backward design, we asked the first one, which we talked about in the previous slide, identifying the desired results. What will the student know, understand, and will be able to do? 2, determining acceptable evidence of learning. How will the students know when they have reached their goals? And 3, we need to plan learning experiences, instructions. What will I do in the classroom as a teacher to prepare them for the assessment and the reflection? In the School District of Philadelphia, teachers spend countless professional development learning the backward design model. One of the acronyms that they learn to do the mental checks themselves is called WHERE to. And the WHERE to, the W stands for what the student knows, where he's headed, why he's heading there, and what he might already know and where he might go wrong. The H is for hooking the student on the topic of study. E is for exploring, experiencing ideas, and being equipped with necessary understanding to master the standard being taught. R is for rehearse, revise, and refining their work. E, the evaluation and the mental checklist. T, tailor the learning to the varied needs, interests, and learning styles. O, organizing learning, how we organize the sequences of the learning to maximize the engagement and effectiveness. This acronym of WHERE to is utilizing as a guiding organizer or as a revision tool for the teacher in the classroom. Their subject matter is thematic in their English language arts topic sequencing. There's a trophies, Storytown. Utilizing the themes, the topics are aligned to the standards. The design principle is very present and guiding the teacher at every level. Utilizing the Think Aloud model, the standards are aligned with the benchmarks to ensure learning standard is being met. The content elements. In the School District of Philadelphia, we have the assessment anchors as defined by the eligible content, which are aligned to the Pennsylvania core standards. They are organized into cohesive blueprints, each structured with a common labeling system that can be read like an outline. This framework is organized first by reporting category, then by assessment anchor, then by anchor descriptor, and finally at the greatest level of detail, an eligible content statement. The common format of this outline is followed across the PSSA. These are the Pennsylvania School System of Assessments. The PSSA are the evaluating tools for the state of Pennsylvania's assessment programs. The anchor descriptor is below each assessment anchor of one or more specific anchor descriptors. They add a level of specificity to the content covered by the assessment anchor. Each anchor is part of assessment anchor and has one or more eligible content statements unified under and aligned to it. The eligible content is the most specific description of the skills and concepts that are assessed on the PSSA. This level is considered the assessment limit and helps educators identify the range of the content covered on the PSSA. Here is an example of the key ideas and the detailed descriptors. It demonstrates the understanding of the key ideas and the detail in the literature. As we can see, the notational system is correlated to the eligible content. The teacher consistently, daily reviews the ideas, aligning them with the content. The big ideas and essential questions. Effective readers use appropriate strategies to construct meaning. The critical thinkers actively and skillfully interpret, analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information. Active listeners make meaning from what they hear by questioning, reflecting, responding, and evaluating. Effective speakers prepare and communicate messages to address the audience and purpose. The effective research requires the use of varied resources, audience and purpose, influence a writer's choice of the organizational patterns, the rules of grammar, the conventions support clarity of communications. An expanded vocabulary enhances one's ability to express their ideas and information. The essential questions: how do strategic readers create meaning from the information in literary text? What is it really about? How do good readers' purpose influence the text, how it should be read? So these are just questions, the essential questions that a teacher will ask to be able to align them with the assessments. Here's an example of grade 3 literacy, the reporting category and how the assessment anchors are listed. The assessment anchor appears in the shaded bar across the top of each assessment anchor table. The anchors are the content of the PSSA. Each assessment anchor is part of a reporting category and has one or more anchor descriptors unified under and aligned to it, allowing the teacher to consistently and daily compare and see whether or not she's reaching the goals that she needs to do for the PSSA. The School District of Philadelphia utilizes summative assessments, formative assessments, benchmark assessments, and diagnostic assessments. They are all aligned to the Pennsylvania core standards. Assessments make an overall judgment of progress at the end of a defined period of instruction. They occur at the end of a school level, grade, or course. They are considered high-stake assessments because the results are often used in conjunction with the No Child Left Behind and the AYP, Adequate Yearly Progress. The funding is tied to these tests. They produce clear data. The results of the formative assessments are primarily of interest to the students and the teachers. The results of the summative assessments are also of great interest to parents, faculty, administration, and the press and the public at large. It is the data of the summative assessments on which public accountability systems are based. If the results are reported with reference to standards and individual students, they can be used as diagnostic tools by teachers to plan instruction and guide the leadership teams in developing strategies that help improve student achievement. Examples of the summative assessments are the PSSAs and the Terra Novas. One of the main assessment tools that the School District of Philadelphia uses are the Keystone exams, with the literature assessment anchors and algebra content with sample questions and glossaries. The teachers have a 45-day marking period that they start with, reviewing the questions and sample exam questions each day with the students. Here's an example of the standard literature. What is the author's purpose in writing the passage? And then explains what the author's passage for writing for the passage, using the information from the passage to support your explanation. Here's another form of assessment for classroom teachers. It's a rating tool form that is used to help the administrators to evaluate their teachers in the assessment situation. Another form of assessment is the RT2. It's a response to instruction and intervention, and it is an early intervening support process, where the goal is to improve student achievement using research-based interventions. The core of the premise is that all children can learn. In Pennsylvania, it carries dual meaning. It is comprehensive, multi-tiered standards which are aligned to a strategy to enable early identification and intervention for students at academic or behavioral risk. It is also an alternative to aptitude achievement discrepancy model for identification of students. It's data-driven model to enable early identification and strategic interventions for students at academic or behavioral risk. It's a shared collaborative decision-making process among professional educators. The School of Philadelphia, Philadelphia is in a city area, so this addresses other societal issues and problems for students who may have fallen through the cracks. The critique of the curriculum is coherent and consistent. It is research-based, utilizing the backward design methods. Authentic learning is taking place. It displays key designs, principles, scope, sequence, continuity, articulation, balance, and spiraling. Professional development is offered often using Web 2 tools. It utilizes Zimbra for teachers' collaboration. It shows 21st technology tools incorporated across all the levels. The content is developmentally appropriate across all grades. Although it uses the backward design model, and the backward design model is definitely meant to have the end in mind, that it suggests that the learning experience should be planned with the final assessment in mind. It does teach to the test. One of the great criticisms of the backward design model, and one of the criticisms of Common Core, is that we're always teaching to the test. The content is developmentally appropriate for across all grades, though. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.